Hi guys, it's Mimsy, and today we are going to draw a swamp scene. So we are going to start with a tree, a cypress tree, because you know swamps have cypress trees. And then we're going to put in our horizon line, do a little bit in the background, but we're going to also have maybe a Cajun house in there, probably a couple other little things, maybe an alligator swimming, maybe a, I don't know, iris or two, something really cool, Louisiana. I did it last weekend with a class and they had a great time, but the video was awful because all you could hear was wind. It was windy. That, thank goodness, because it was really hot, the hottest day in August, I think. But anyway, I thought I would repeat it so you could at least see how to do it the way I usually draw them. So anyway, that's what's next, and we're gonna draw a swamp. So let's art. So this is the swamp, which I'm really excited about. Well, I'm excited about all of them, it seems like, but I'm going to do it in two ways. I'm going to use this pen, as you can see, this pen, and I've also used a pencil so that you can see how to erase. So this is the paper, and I'm sitting landscape style, and of course, you know, you want to kind of do a light line down the middle this way, and a light line down the middle this way. It doesn't have to be perfect, so that you have your quadrants. Here's the, you know, top right, top left, bottom right, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to start my swamp scene with the things that are kind of in the front. Not exactly, but at least one of the big things that's in the front. So that's going to be a cypress tree. And in order to do that, there's going to be a big, huge cypress tree that's right here. That's sitting right here. So I want to take it, I'm going to draw a line. Just kind of straight line. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Almost to the bottom. I'm leaving a little bit of room to the bottom, but it went off the edge of the page here, as you can see. There's a reason for that. Okay, so cypress trees are kind of like a big triangle. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to kind of put a light curvy base down here. It's kind of a curvy, to where there's 2 points, and then this line's kind of in the middle. And that way, it'll give me a guideline. So now I'm going to take, and I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to get close to the tree, but not go to the line. But as I go up the tree, I'm getting closer and closer to that middle line, as you can see. And then the same thing's going to happen on this one. I'm going to kind of go up, and then I'm going to get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to where it's smaller up here. See, the distance up here is a lot smaller, and the distance down here is a lot wider. It doesn't really matter if these lines are straight or curvy. Of course, I wouldn't be like curving it like this, but just as, you know, kind of as you can get it. And that's going to be the basis for our tree. The reason that I was going to say we're going to use pencil for the next line is because that's our horizon line. If you already did the cat with me, you understand what the horizon line is. It's where the water or the sky meets the earth. On this particular piece, we're going to do it where it's the sky and the water, because it's a swamp scene, so it's going to be in the water. But I want a lot of swamp between me and where the background is. So I'm going to put my horizon line high. And now I'm going to get here, and I'm going to stop and then move over and start again. But you can go through it if you have a pencil, and then you can come back and erase your lines in here. But I'm going to just stop, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to finish my line. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but Louisiana kind of is straight. So now I'm going to start drawing in pen where you can really see my lines good. So this was my tree. This is my tree line that I had here. And my squiggly line at the bottom, and my other line that I went up on here, and then there was a center line. I probably won't leave that exactly the center line, but you can if you want to. And then here is the rest of my line for my horizon line. Now, this is a tree in front of the horizon line. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but that's what it is. You'll possibly have to erase some of your horizon line in the tree. I won't be able to do it now that I've started in pen. For the limbs, there are going to be limbs that come out on each side of the tree, and there's also going to be a limb coming out at you. You know, like if it's a 3D tree, you have to remember that we draw things in 2 dimensions, but we actually see things in 3 dimensions. So that's a big deal to interpret in 2 dimensions what you actually see in 3 dimensions. When you hold an object in your hand, let's say my phone for instance, I'm holding a 3D object, but I can actually draw it in 2D to make it look 3D. And that's what we're doing today with the swamp scene and this tree. So we're going to move up the tree. Usually they don't have limbs this low because it's a big tree. So we're going to go probably not quite half. I would say this would be about half the tree from here to here and here to here. But I'd say a little bit below half, and I would start with a limb, and I'm going to start with my limb here, and I'm going to go to the right. And it's just going to come out like that. And then I'm going to move up, and then I'm going to go to this side, and I'm going to do another one that kind of curves out. And then I'm going to go across here, and then I'm going to move up again, and I'm going to do another one that kind of curves out. Now you notice this one might be longer, and this one a little bit shorter, this a little shorter. As they go up, you're going to have limbs that are not as long. The ones up here are not going to be longer than these, because as a tree grows, the longer limbs are toward the bottom, and the higher ones are at the top. I mean, shorter ones are at the top. So we're going to go here, and we're going to move up again. We're going to go across, move up, and then do another little one. Okay, now there's still going to be a limb coming out at me, but you can't represent it by the actual limb because you wouldn't see anything. It would just be a stick. It would have the leaves on it. So we're going to do that in a little bit. Now I'm going to make these limbs a little thicker, so I'm going to come back here at the base and come back, and I'm making these into triangles again. In other words, they're thicker here and they come to a point there. They're thicker here and they come to a point. They're thicker and come to a point. So there's my limbs for my tree. Now I'm going to do, and I call it a scribble. You don't have to be perfect on this, and you don't need to make little clouds. I guess you could, but I just call it a scribble, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I just kind of do an outline of where I kind of think I want the leaves to be. Okay, so that's my outline of where I think I want my leaves to be. And then I'm just going to scribble inside that. You can do however, this is really interpreted however you want, but this is my scribbling. I just kind of, I don't know, hopefully everybody can see it. It's just kind of a scribble because from a distance you can't tell exactly what a leaf is unless it's a certain type of leaf. But in cypress there, and I'll show you on another sheet of paper. This is what a cypress leaf, or on a cypress limb, you have a limb, and then they have these, they have leaves, but their leaves come out like this, and it's almost like a pine needle, but real, like these are what the actual pine, actual leaves look like on a cypress. But from a distance, there's so many of them coming out on the limb itself that you don't see these actual leaves. So that's what they actually look like. But from a distance, you are not going to see that. So we're not going to need to draw it that way. We're going to draw it like this. Okay, so now I'm going to go over this side, and I'm going to put one, and it's going to go off the paper. So I'll just go to the edge, and I'm going to kind of go like that. That's going to be my shape there. I'm going to do another shape here, probably not quite as big as that one, and I'm going to do another shape here. And then I want a limb coming out at me, so I'm going to pretend that limb is probably right here. So if it was coming out at me, I would have another shape of this kind of scribble right there. And then I'm going to just go fill these in. Fill them in like I just did the other one. The more random you are with your lines, the more it can look like a tree in the end. So we're just going to fill these in real quick. Just scribble, 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 scribble. You're really just scribbling. I'm kind of doing I don't know, almost a figure 8 pattern, but then again, I'm going back and sometimes doing circular. It just depends. So there is a basic tree. Now, I want to make it look more like a tree. So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to add me some lines. Now, the lines, you have to remember that tree patterns are usually up and down on the tree. Cypress does have a certain look to it, but they're just really straight, curvy kind of lines. And you see how I'm doing this right here? Watch. Up here I did one kind of, and in that I'm going to take and I'm going to put, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but a circle to where that was a limb coming out and it got cut off. And then I'm going to add some more lines coming down. And from the base, they kind of just go on like that and squiggle up. And then we're going to do a few of these darker. I'll show you what that is in a minute. And then you can put a few little ones on the limbs you have here. These coming up. And you see I don't like this area right here, so I'm going to add me another. You don't have to. I don't know what your tree looks like, but I think I need another green leaf up there. So I'll put one. That would be one that was coming out, and I still couldn't see the actual limb. And then just a few more little lines in there. A couple of lines here on this one. And that's my basic tree. Now, down here, wherever your curved line jets in, that is going to be a little bit darker. So you kind of want to go and fill it in a little bit. Cypress trees have this shape to where, if you've ever seen a knee or anything there, they have when they curve in, they kind of make real cavernous looking. So this one's poking out, but this one's kind of going in right here. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put a little dark area. And these are really just triangles if you look at them. There's thick at the base, and they go to thinner, and they kind of curve up. So here's an indentation here. So I'm just going to kind of curve up and make this a triangular shape. And then that's 3 of them. You could do as many as you want, really. Okay, so we have our tree in place. We have our horizon line. We don't have anything back on that horizon line at the moment, but I want to go ahead and put the house in next, because it might have something in here that goes up higher. So we're going to put a shack. Now this is under the water. This is all water behind here, but there's going to be a little piece of land right here, and on this little piece of land is going to be a shack. So we're going to start drawing it. Now I will show you on another sheet of paper. We're going to make, here is my paperback, and I'm going to do one right here. We're going to start with a box, and if you don't know how to make a box, I'm going to show you real quick. You're going to start with a rectangle, and a rectangle is usually longer and like that, but we're going to angle it because we're going to have the porch and we're going to have a roof. So we're going to take that rectangle and we're going to draw, so we're going to draw a line here, and then lines straight down, and then lines across. And that's going to be the start of our I don't want you to draw this right now, just watch. This is going to be the porch, which means it's going to go back like this, and then you're going to come like this, and come out, and then we're going to do this, and this is the porch, and this is going to be the roof that's going to kind of come up in an Acadian style type home. And that's going to be the back. And then you're going to have a porch. This is just a quick sketch just to kind of show you what we're going to be drawing. And then we'll have some steps coming out. And then we'll have another pylon here to hold it up. And then we're going to have another piece here because this is the wall that's on the back. And then we're going to fill in this, and we're going to fill in the roof. But that's going to be the basis. But you start with this one shape right here. This is going to be the critical shape, and basically that's a rectangle with just sides straight down, instead of when you just draw a rectangle straight on, you're just drawing it like this. This one is going to have the lines this way and then straight down. So anyway, okay, let's get back to it. Get our house on there. So it depends on how big you want your house. You can have your house really little. This could be a huge tree. You could have it pretty big. I'm going to make it probably medium size. So I'm going to start with my shape that I had shown you how to draw, which is basically like this, and come out with, and then come down with the, so that's your first shape, and that's going to be where the porch is. That's going to be part of your porch and your house. So this is in my bottom right quadrant. Here's my little light lines in pencil. I don't know if you can see them, but my bottom right quadrant, I'm starting there. Now you could make this smaller, you could make it larger. It's just going to go off the paper. So now from here, I take and I draw a line this way. This is going to be the width of my porch, so I'm going to probably go that far. And then I take the same line and I draw it from this corner that way. So now you have something that looks like, I don't even know, like, what are the things you jump over when you're hurdle thing? I don't know. Because, you know, this would be the arm, but the hurdles don't have the bottom. But anyway, then you're going to take, and you're going to take, from this point, you're going to go over and you're going to connect a line. This line is going to kind of be parallel to this line. But you stop right here. You don't go, well, no, you do go further because you have to connect. Yeah, you do. You go through, because you have to connect the porch. This is the back of the porch. Well, we did want another pole here, but I will just fill that pole in. If you stop there, you could make a pole and then come out on the other side. I'll show you about that in a minute. But we're going to start, okay, so we go back to this line, this point right here, and we're going to go up. And then this is going to be the other part of the house. So this is going to go up, and then this is going to connect. That can connect slanted. It can connect slanted this way. It can go up higher, whatever. I mean, it just depends on how you want your roof. Probably it would have been better if I'd connected it up higher, but it doesn't matter. This is our porch. And now we're going to build on that. So the roof of our house is here, and it's going to go up like that, and it's going to come over and go off my paper. And here's my roof, and it's going to go up like that, and it's going to go off the paper. This is part of my wood of my house, so I'm just going to continue this line back. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to make my porch a little thicker. I'm going to add an actual porch part. Now, some of this you'll have to erase when you get ready. I'm going to bring the line down here, and then the line's going to angle out like this one did. Okay, and since this is our porch, I'm going to put some we're going to put post here. So this line should be erased right there, but I'm going to kind of cover it with just some odd looking shaped lines because it's wood. And here's another post. So there's my post. There's my porch. I definitely need stairs coming out, so I'm going to do the little, and I don't know if you saw me do it earlier, but I'm going to show you back again. When you come and do stairs, you're going to do down, out, down, out, down, out, down. And then you repeat this on the other side. You go down, out, down, out, down, out, down. And then you connect these lines. To where they look like steps. Then we're going to bring this part and do like that, or go all the way down to the ground. But that's how you make steps. Okay. And back to this. So, I'm going to start here on my porch, probably in the middle, because that's usually where they put the steps. You could do it on the side. Wherever you put them is fine. I'm going to start in the middle and go down, out, down, out, down, out, down, out. And then again on this side. Out, down, out, down, out, down, out. And then I'm going to connect them here. The in and the out. This is how you could do an accordion too, by the way. You ever want to do an accordion? This is called an accordion fold. And then this kind of comes down. You can have it come all the way down to the ground and make your last step and then go back. Or you could just put a slanted line right there and be done with it. Now, if you have pencil, you can go back and erase that line if you want to. Like you could in the porch, same kind of thing. So, we're going to put the pylons here. I mean, not pylons. I don't know what you call them. They're not called pylons. What are they called? The supports for the house. I don't even know what you call that. But basically, they're just boxes. So here you're going to come out and do an angle just like you did here at your porch. Same angle, and then put another line. And over here, you're just really going to put one like this and come out and go back down. You don't have to be real perfect on those. It doesn't matter. Then on our porch itself, we're going to put like a door would be here. You won't see the whole door. The door is going to go up into the roof. And you're going to kind of darken it in. And then you can put your windows if you want to. I'll put a window here. Now my window is still underneath the porch, so I don't see the whole thing. But I would see the pane part. And then same thing over on this side. I would see the pane. And really, actually, this line should probably go like that more. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. However y'all want it to be. It doesn't. These are just not real critical. You're just trying to give a hint that it's a house. And you can add like a rug here if you want to. You could put a dog on the porch. But let's go ahead and do the roof. The roof is usually tin on these houses. Or they call it tin. But so I just kind of roughly put some kind of sheets that look like this. They're not real perfect. And then I come back and just add some lines to make it look like tin roof. And you could even put a couple of spots where it's rusted. you want to, and then make it 10. It can be however you want. This is not a real critical thing. And then on the side here, if you have a lot of room, I don't know if you have a lot of room or not, but if you have room, you can put your boards, because usually it was boards up and down that they built this house with, so you could even make it look more like wood by putting your lines like you did on the tree, because usually they did use cypress. Same thing here, but I'm not going to do that. I probably will fill in my stairs right here just because I have the line right there and I don't want it to show. So I'm going back and I'm filling in the up, down shape and the solid. Okay. You could put a little, if you wanted to, some people like doing the little stove or fireplace thingy up here. I think it's kind of cute to do that, and you could, because you could have smoke coming out if you wanted to. Okay, and now we're going to put the land that it's on. So this is still water, but there's some land. So back behind this house, the land is, the edge of the land. So it's going to come out and it's going to kind of come like this across your paper. So now you see this is land. There could even be a tree back there, whatever. Now we've got the water, which is around, and it's still up, you know, close to where the house is. And then you have your horizon line. So we're going to work a little bit on that. We'll probably put a couple of cypress knees and then maybe a gator swimming and a few little plants here and there. But horizon line is going to have maybe trees way back here. So I'm going to put just some little up and down lines in the back. And then I'm going to go back, because these are actually trees way back there, way back there. And then I'm going to come back maybe and I'm going to do some little squiggles here and there. Might just do a patch here or there, just to make it look like there's some leaves on some of those trees back there. Maybe not. Maybe so. Not sure. But see how I'm just barely dotting. If you're doing it in pencil, you can do a little bit more detail if you want to. You don't even have to do much detail. Just the sticks also look like cypress trees, because sometimes cypress trees just look like that. And you can continue them all the way down here, however you want to on your horizon line. If you just want to do bushes in the background, you could just do some little humps like this, and that makes it look like bushes back there. It's not actually bushes, it's probably more like another island or more land that's really close up, but it works. Okay, so that's our horizon line, and then now we're going to put a gator swimming right here. And a gator is not as hard as you think it is. He is just going to be eyes, which is, this is his eyes, and then this is his nose or his snout, that's his nostril. And then from here, you're going to draw the line that looks like that. Because you're like, well, what? That's not the gator. Yeah, it is. If he's in the water, that is the gator. You can put his eye. And then his back will be this humps, a few humps, and also like that. And then his tail will be a few more humps, almost to a point, and then come back. And he'll have a few little, you know, like lines here for his tail and his head. You can put some on his nose too. And then to make it look like he's really swimming, you take and you make the water. Now, if he's pushing through the water this way, because his nose is going that way, you're going to want the water to trail behind him. So you start at his nose and you come out with a line that goes like that and like that. And you can even do one on the other side if you want to. And the same thing for his back. You just start at the back part and go. Now it looks like he's swimming. See, it looks like he's swimming. And this is water, so we're going to add water lines. But let's add some cypress. Well, first of all, let's put some cypress knees back here, which are just going to be some sticks in the water, as well as what we had on the thing. And they're really so small, you don't need them really big. So anyway. And then, okay, and then you're going to put a couple of knees here. So cypress knees are easy. They're triangles, but they're rounded triangles. So you start at the bottom, wherever you're going to have the base at, and you kind of go up and make a hump, and then you come up and make another hump, and then you go back around. And that's a cypress knee. And it doesn't have to be 2. It can be 3. It can be 3 humps. It can be 4 humps. It can be 1 hump. It doesn't even have to go that tall. It can be short humps. It doesn't matter. And you can put as many of these as you want around the tree. Just as long as you have the base kind of flat, or it can be a little bit of a curve if you want to, but mostly it's thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. All these are thicker and thinner, thicker and thinner. Then you're going to come back and you're going to just add a few lines here or there. Up and down, because it is wood. And then the water lines is a cool thing to do. When there's something stable in the water, it doesn't move like this gator did. It actually hits and then it pools and then it brings it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an ellipse. An ellipse is an elongated circle. And you do like that. And that makes it look like the water is coming around it. So you just kind of do like this. Do it around the tree. The tree's going to have some too. Around each one of these. It doesn't have to be a lot either. It could just be just the ring if you want just the ring. Just 1 or 2 rings. You don't even have to pull this line down. I just do that because it makes it look like water to me. And now we're almost done. Let's add we're going to put an iris that happens to be right here on the shore. And that's how that looks. Now this line would not be, you have to erase this if that's your iris. But you come out and you make an iris by doing this. You do your stem, and then you do 3 petals that are kind of come down, and they're wider at the bottom and thinner at the top. Like that, and like this. And you see how it makes like a 3, 1, 2, 3? They say this was like how they got the fleur-de-lis. I don't know. Then one goes up, and then one goes, and then you can have one in the back. But that's basically your iris. You put your little part of the iris. I don't know what that's called. It's where the bees go. It's where the pollen is. I can't even think of it right now. That's terrible. Anyway, you do that, and then you can come out and you can add another stalk if you want to. Now this is up close. This is farther away. So that's why you see it. It's up close. This is also up close. You can come back and you can add some like little lines to make it look like grass. You could do whatever you want. You could even do that, like I said, the swing on the porch. This is the basics. And then you could come back and you can add a few little lines very lightly. I don't do a lot of lines on the water, but you know, water has some lines to it. And you could even do like a trail, like there was a boat that had come through here or something. If you want to, just little lines. And if you want to, you could put the sun. Sun could be setting. Just a round circle or some circle. This one ain't even round, so. And that's our basic cypress swamp. Now, I did this one for a group of live children. And that is our basic swamp. And last but not least is the moss. And this is an add-on, so hopefully you can see. You just come back and you do just some small downward strokes with the in the tree to make the moss. You can make them kind of squiggly and then come down. You don't want to do too much, but I guess you can see that. I'll come up and this way. If me holding it by hand works, it's good. Just can't see very well around the camera, but you can see I'm just adding moss. Moss just kind of hangs straight down. It kind of has a shadowy look to it. So, and you can do it, I would definitely do it on the one that's right here, that's hanging off the tree here. Put some coming down here. Usually our trees in Louisiana have a lot of moss, and it's pretty. It's very, I don't know, ghostly looking. It's kind of a gray, looks like a beard in some ways. So that just adds to everything. I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but that's what we ended up doing. And you can see up close some of the things we did. The iris, our swamps. Hopefully I got it all on there, I don't know. Alright guys, see y'all later. Bye. Hey, love, joy, and peace be with you today, and always remember you'll be a part of Mimsy's heart. Bye. So please do the thing at the bottom. I don't know if you can do the comments or not, but if not else, email me. And then I would like to have your, what you liked about my classes. If you took one of them and you loved it, please email me and let me know. You can even send me pictures of what you did. I love to see that. It does my heart good to know that people are using this and they're creating and they're learning things. So please let me know. And I hoped you enjoyed this. So may peace, love, and joy be yours today. And always remember, you'll always be a part of Mimsy's heart.